Hello, I'm back. I want to take a little bit, obviously, to think about this next one. And I think I'm ready to record now. Obviously, like, there's a lot of stuff going on. Like, there's that I wanted, obviously, like, just Limbus Company just did a new season, so I wanted to wait a little bit, but then it started kicking my ass. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'm doing this now. I had nothing else to do. So ARL. ARL's very interesting to talk about. This is basically just like the Lawl featuring the entire TF2 cast. It's very, very funny. I don't know why ARL decided to grab like all the mercs, but we'll talk about it. Obviously, like I do want to obviously get into this Lawl, but this Lawl has a very unique history to it. Obviously, this is the only. I think this is one of like the only Lawls really from back then that just got entirely taken down. I don't know what happened exactly. I think the creator just kind of like maybe they lost access to their account. Like there was a copyright strike. You never know what it could be. It's kind of unfortunate because of that. Some of these movesets are actually lost media. We don't have access to them anymore. You can't watch them. Most of them have been recovered, but a lot of the TF2 mercs are unfortunately you can't find them. There are ways to like look up what they were. Like you can find Wikipedia pages about it, but as is, you can't see them. Which isn't we're not really missing much because this was like back then, so the animation style wasn't that great. Didn't really like improve as it went along, so it's not a biggie. It's weird because I have a obviously strong connection to both of these Lawls. Like I saw like every single TF2 merc set, even the ones that were taken down. Like I know them. I knew them mostly well. I kind of forgot them because it's been so long, obviously. But I've seen all of them. The difference is like with YTPGuy, where I don't remember like Dark Helmet and 9V. I never looked at the other 4 movesets once. Like I was just all about TF2. So doing this project, one of the things I like about it is it gives me a chance to look at the movesets I never have watched before and like review the Lawl as a whole. And you know, I have a lot to say about those 4 actually. Like we'll get into it later, obviously. But because this Lawl is basically just all the TF2 mercs, I did want to like actually put a little bit more effort into talking about all of them because I have a special connection to all of them, obviously. So because this was early YouTube, a lot of these mercs, obviously, this is like, TF2 was still in development at this point. It's not like they're not getting any updates like it is now. Like, they were still coming out with updates and things, and all the mercs don't have all like the weapons they have now. So a lot of these movesets, it's weird. Like when it comes to TF2 characters, you could lean 2 ways. I feel like for the time there was a lot of Gmod content, so you could lean more into the Gmod side, which makes sense. This is Lawl. Lawl has weird, goofy stuff like that. Or you could go into the gameplay side because the mercs still had like a lot of cool, unique tools. Because this was like, you know, obviously, it was TF2. It's very has a lot of depth when it comes to its gameplay, and a lot of the mercs handle this issue very differently. Especially because, like, you know, this was back then when there was even less to work with. So what I want to do is, as I talk about every merc, I actually want to discuss, okay, what were they like then? And what could you do now with them? Because I feel like there's a couple people that have, like, handled this topic already. Some of these mercs have gotten new movesets. Some of them are getting new movesets at some point. But some lean more into, like, the Gmod sense, and some lean into the actual gameplay stuff. And I feel like, you know, Lawl Aureus, I think it is, Lawl Aureus, Shrekels, is making American Boot, who is just Soldier. You could easily just, like, make a whole Gmod character at this point. You don't even need to, like, really do a mixture anymore. So that presents another problem you have to think about. But I'll get into that. I'll get into that as we talk about every single merc. And Heavy actually has another thing I want to talk about. Heavy's interesting. This was the first moveset ARL did, obviously, and I don't think we've really talked about it yet, but some Lawlers have something called... well, I mean, it's not something like... It's something every Lawler has. It's like first moveset syndrome, as I think some people call it. And it's gonna happen, obviously. It's your first time animating. It's your first time, like, making a moveset. So you're gonna cut corners. You're gonna be a little bit weird with the sprites. And it's not gonna be perfect. We all get that. That's why we usually let people make a few movesets first before, like, you know, we start really recognizing them, obviously. Because you gotta warm up to it. It's a learning process. Animation is hard. And Heavy's interesting because his moveset kind of makes sense in a way, but a lot of it uses, like, assets that aren't, like, Heavy. It's himself, his model. It uses, like, GIFs and animations and stuff from, like, other things, which is, it's interesting. Like, the minigun thing, you'll see it in the moveset. It's just kind of like a sprite thing. It's a little weird, but, I mean, it's the minigun. I mean, yeah, Heavy's gonna use the minigun. And I think the reason why he did that, the ARL creator did this, is, I mean, when you think about it, a lot of these mercs, like, when you look at them from different angles, a lot of their moves you can kind of incorporate. Like, they had, like, material to, like, animate side to side. Maybe I think the problem is with Heavy because it was their first moveset. They didn't really know how to get a first-person view, or, like, a third-person view, I mean, of the minigun attack. So that's why he used a sprite. That's my idea, obviously. And I mean, like, other than that, like, the up B also uses, like, a floating sandwich thing. It's kind of weird, but, like, I mean, it makes sense. It's like the sandwich. I would expect the sandwich to be somewhere in this moveset. I am surprised there is no healing move, I will say. Like, I feel like if any character would have a healing move problem, it would be Heavy, but no, he doesn't. He's kind of just, eh. That being said, Heavy doesn't really... He leans into, like, the goofy stuff where he's using things from animations and GIFs. But he doesn't feel perfect. I definitely think if you wanted to do him now, or even at the time, I think there was definitely, like, you could have done him better. Like, how do I, like, for a recovery, like, I feel like the recovery obviously is going to be hard for Heavy, but there's definitely, like, the scene where he's climbing up the mountain of bodies. You could probably interpret that into, like, a slow, super armored recovery or something, instead of, like, a animated flying sandwich that's not using anything. But, I mean, he's fine. I think he's funny. I still think he's, like... Is he... I don't think he's funny. I think he, like, makes sense. I want to be generous, obviously. This is, like, their first moveset. And I think Heavy's good. Heavy's good. He makes sense. A lot of the moves, you know, I get them. Now, I feel like if you wanted to do Heavy, like a game version of Heavy now, I don't think much would change. There's definitely, like, a lot more, like, emphasis on the food items, obviously, so that's a whole special move you can just change outright. There's definitely more, like, assets to use if you wanted to give them Heavy normals. People who have made, like, actual Smash movesets for Heavy is the thing. You could do it if you wanted to. But I think the fun comes in. I think that if you wanted to make Heavy now, you would want to make a more Gmod-centric Heavy. I think there's a lot more material, like, I mean, like, you could do Kitty 0706's, like, moments with Heavy. He has, like, a whole bunch of videos just by himself. You could do specific YouTuber's version of, like, a goofier Heavy. There's, like, you could do anything, really. He's, the world is an open oyster for this guy. But, he's still good. He's not that crazy. Okay. This is a funny moveset. I love Scout. Like, Scout's moveset is the one I probably remember the most from ARL, and I'm so glad it wasn't lost. Because it's another one of those movesets where it's like a time capsule of the time. Like, a lot of the jokes you won't get unless you were playing TF2 around then. Like, he has the Sandman, which is a crazy stun, and that's been patched out. That doesn't exist anymore in TF2. And then he has the Up B, which is Bacon Legs, and you might be thinking, oh, it's a funny Gmod joke. It shows an inspiration clip. No, Bacon Legs is actually like a bug that would happen in TF2. I don't know if it still happens, but I think it's very well documented, where anytime Scout would double jump, his legs would kind of flail weirdly. It was strange, but it uses it's like a mixture using a Gmod joke, because like someone animated, obviously, but it's also like an actual game thing from the time that you wouldn't get, obviously, if you weren't there. And, God, what was his, like, I don't remember his down B at the time right now. I do remember his side B. It's like the atomizer. And it's like, it seems kind of plain in my opinion, but when you think about it, Scout's probably meant to be a fast character. And that's probably meant to be like a thing at the end of a combo you want to like smack people with and kill them. And he has like the Sandman to like stun you for that. Like there's a clear game plan with this character. But I think the funniest thing is the final smash. That final smash is so funny. Like it's very quotable. I am Pancake Man. Needed to dispense here. Like that is such a funny. I watched that Gmod video back in the day a lot. I love that video so much. So to see someone like make that a final smasher was very funny. And it's like, it's not really something I think you would see anyone give that as a final smash to Scout now, like at all. Like I don't like think you would do Scout like this at all anymore. Because I think even for like an up B, you could give him like I forget, like the purple drink that he has. The purple drink gun that gives him like 5 jumps. You could probably just do that or something. But you know what? I love this rendition of Scout a lot. He's actually going in my favorite tier. I really like him. He's very funny. He's very unique. He's very distinct, and he uses a lot of the jokes from the time. He's very perfect. I like him a lot, and he doesn't have anything too broken or anything, obviously. But he's good. I like him. Oh yeah, the down B was the bonk. I forgot. Yeah, the bonk's good too. I mean, a lot of characters in this law do a lot of damage, so having like a nice invincibility move for a couple seconds is neat. It's neat. Also, I like how he drinks it without like using his hands. He just glugs it back. It's very funny. I like it a lot. Now, how would you do Scout now is the thing. Scout's weird. I feel like you could definitely, like, Scout has a lot more ideas you could do if you wanted to do just a gameplay Scout. I think I still like to see that. He has so many weapons you could do. And the meta of what Scout has changed, the meta of like what Scout uses in TF2 now has changed a lot. So I don't think you would even put the Sandman in there anymore either, because like that doesn't do the same thing anymore. You know, there's ideas there. As for like a more joke-heavy Scout, I don't know. Like, there's definitely like a lot of, because Scout's often the punching bag in a lot of like Gmod skits, but then like he's also like sometimes like he has a lot of weird shit. Like there's like that one where he goes bending time and space. Like that's imagine someone turning that into a special move. Like, oh my god, like it sounds there's ideas there. Scout's definitely a character that I would like to see someone revisit, which I'm surprised no one has. Like, Scout feels like someone no one really wants to touch right now. And that's kind of a shame. I definitely think there is, like, if you wanted to, you could do a lot with him. Pyro. Unfortunately, this is the first of the many movesets that are completely lost at this point, as far as I'm aware, which is sad. And I don't really, this is probably the one I kind of remember the least, which is, I barely remember Pyro. I did have to look it up. It's a very simple moveset for the time. He uses, like, you know, the fighting flare. He has like the scorch shot. What I think is interesting though is this was like another moveset of the time, obviously. And the creator had to get like a little bit creative and give Pyro the scorch shot jump he could do, like, which was like a tech in the game that was kind of like an engine thing where like he could like climb up walls and stuff with a little bit of extra height. Kind of like what Demo Man and Soldier do. It was very complicated, obviously. It was a little bit weird. But now, like, Pyro has, like, a jetpack, which is just like, wow, free recovery move for this character. If you wanted to do him now, you definitely could. And the final smash, it, like, uses all, like, the Pyrovision stuff, which is, like, I guess it's fine. It makes sense. I feel like if you wanted to, you could definitely, like, make this character and give him a lot more, but as is, he's fine. He's like whatever. He's another one. Like, a lot of it is just gameplay stuff. Unfortunately, there's no really jokey stuff you could throw into this moveset like Scout or Heavy. Which I mean, it makes sense. Like, I think like if you wanted to, maybe you could make the final smash with the Pyro and things. You could include that as like a moveset mechanic as a whole if you wanted to, you know, bring more in. And that kind of like that goes into like obviously if you wanted to make a normal Pyro, but what would you do for a Gmod Pyro? Like using more funny jokes? I don't know. Pyro has his like all over the place with how he's used in Gmod animations. So you're definitely like not running out of ideas, but I think he's also used the least at the same time in a lot of like animation stuff. You hear about Heavy and Scout and like Soldier, like everyone else has a lot more complicated things. So Pyro's like often presented as the straight man, which gives him even less to work with. Even then, he's not that bad. Demo Man. Demo Man's another one where the moveset is unfortunately lost. We don't really know where it is anymore. I do vaguely remember this one. I mean, like, it's Demo Man. Like, you kind of know what you're getting into when you get Demo Man. He has a healing move, which heals, like, 40%, but it has, like, the end lag. So I guess, like, it's still a healing move. It's a little weird. I do like everything else about this moveset, though. Like, instead of, like, going all out with, like, the explosive part of the moveset, it actually incorporates a lot of the melee Demo Man playstyle, which is good. I think, like, that's another thing you kind of want to do if you were focusing on a gameplay Demo Man, is you want to bring the Demo Knight in there, because, like, everyone loves Demo Knight, and he would work really well in, like, a Smash setting. And I remember, like, the charge and targe move, there's, like, you can act out of it a lot. Like, there's a lot of, like, mechanics to it. It's interesting. And then also, like, the final smash is probably, like, the only goofy thing about the moveset. It's a reference of, like, a stone shuckle for 2 life. And, like, that's, like, a funny joke of the time. It's very goofy. I like it a lot. But I don't know if you would still use it. I think you definitely could change it now. There's definitely other stuff. I was honestly, like, surprised going back to this and looking this up on, like, the wiki. It's not bad. Like, no, he's good. Is he good? Yeah, I think he's, like, so good. Like, the healing move was obviously going to put him down a little bit. But, like, I think including the drinking thing, and it was, the creator clearly tried to balance it a little bit by giving it a lot of end lag, which makes sense, obviously. Like, I think, like, if anyone had a healing move outside of, like, Heavy, I think Demo Man makes sense. Although I think you could also just interpret that as a buff instead of a healing move. But who knows, I think it's okay. Now, what would you do with Demo Man now? Oh my god, I feel like Demo Man, I think someone actually already did regular Demo Man as, like, a gameplay moveset, so, like, he's not... There's definitely, like, some art took him, obviously, but for a Gmod joke, oh my god, he has so much. I feel like there's so much material for Demo Man. I did it like this! That's a joke, lads! Like, there's so, like, you could, the moments like that, like, from Heavy is Dead, already give you, like, idea of how insane he would be. Like, he would really be, like, cranked up to 11. So I hope we get something like that one day. It would be funny. He's pretty good. Soldier. He sure is Soldier. You know, like, I think this is kind of, like, unfortunate. I feel like in a Smash setting, Soldier is probably the one that's going to be the most boring to turn into a character. Like, he has rockets. Okay. Makes sense. And then this moveset gave him grenades, and it's like, oh, he starts turning into, like, a zoner, which is unfortunate, and the grenades are kind of weird, because he doesn't actually throw them or anything, he kind of just blows himself up with them, so that was kind of weird. I think someone else in the past wanted to make a new Soldier moveset, but they canceled it at their law, and they also dropped the character as a whole, which is a shame. But I can't blame him. I feel like Soldier is very plain. Like, he shoots rockets. He has a shovel. He is, like, I guess he's neat. He's not crazy. But I feel like that's kind of, like, the problem. I will say, I like his final smash. Like, Penis Cupcake. Back whenever I was still working on a law, I wanted to just make a whole moveset for Penis Cupcake. I like that joke. I like that character a lot. He's used in so many, like, Freak Fortress videos. But I feel like now, and I think it says a lot, like, someone, Trickles is making American Boot. I feel like the strength in this character is not in the gameplay version of this character, like the regular TF2 version. It's the Gmod version. Everyone loves the jokes. and all the versions of Soldier that people have animated over the years. Like, that's, I think, where the strength in this character lies. So if you wanted to, like, make this character now, I think you would want to lean more in that direction. There's, like, it is more fun to be had there. Otherwise, he's really boring, which is unfortunate, but that's gonna happen, you know? That's gonna happen. Spy. This one is also lost, unfortunately, because I think this is one of the more complicated ones. But he's not complicated. He's Spy. He does what you would expect him to do. But for the time, it's a kind of interesting. It has a lot of interesting ideas. I thought the up B would be teleport because I kind of forgot. But it would be like, you know, he would cloak and teleport upwards. Like, you know, the kind of like it'd be an easy thing to do. But it's actually turned into like a kind of a dodge move where he moves forward. And then the recovery is the Dead Ringer, which is interesting. I don't know how many TF2 players know, but the Dead Ringer at the time was known to be very overpowered. It was considered basically a free get out of jail free card, which, you know, that's perfect. Recovery right there. It's like, that's cool. I like that idea. That's a good way of like implementing like gameplay mechanic into this character. And then like the final smash, you know, he like teleports was right behind you and he stabs you. It is what you expect. You know, someone else has made a spy moveset from what I know, and I don't know how good that is. I haven't seen it yet, obviously. But this one isn't bad. Like, you know, for the time, it's pretty fitting, actually. I think it's like, that's what you would expect Spy to do. It has a lot of things of the time that make it very unique and stand out. There's no real jokes, unfortunately, but I think that's fine. There's definitely like more to work with here for an actual character, so I understand not wanting to use jokes. But what would you do if you made Spy now? I don't think he'd be very different. I'm imagining that the other moveset is kind of much the same, but we'll see. There were a lot of Spy jokes in early TF2 though, which is why I'm surprised that there wasn't any here. I feel like there was like an opportunity like for a mental gen or surprise. If you know, you know. Nowadays, I definitely think you could also do Spy in like a more Gmod jokey sense. There's definitely there's just as much material to work with now. It's definitely evolved over time. There's definitely other ideas you can take now. But he's still good. Medic. Medic is a weirdly good moveset. I mean, this is one you can actually still watch, obviously. Obviously, like, you know, the neutral B is Medi Laser, which is a little bit weird. I mean, he shoots a laser, but not like a tiny laser. But I mean, it makes sense. Like, of course you're gonna turn it into a laser. Like, you don't have to be so hard on the game mechanics. You can get a little creative here and there. And then like the side B thing is actually a really good. I really like that move a lot. That's still a joke in Gmod videos that's still used today, like the stretcher where he runs around. People still do that in animations all the time because it's just funny to see Medic scoop someone up on a stretcher and carry them away. I'm surprised it's actually used more like a launching attack and like it launches Bill. I feel like nowadays that would just be turned into Steve Minecart, which I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. But it makes sense, you know. I like Medic. A lot of his down B also uses the scrapped animation thing as well, like where he pumps blood out of like a heavy. I forget his exact scene. But yeah, I think he's also really good. He actually turned out pretty nicely for the time. And, you know, he took some liberties here and there, but he has like some goofy things here. Now, it's funny because I feel like if you wanted to do a Medic now, you could basically just replace his neutral B with the Crusader's crossbow, and it would do basically exactly the same thing, but then you just have actually something from the game. It's not something that's made up. Bam, there you go. But I think if you wanted to, you could also, like, you know, do some other ideas. Medic has a lot of unique weapons from the game in terms of melee stuff that could have some weird effects if you really wanted to play around with it. I think even a Gmod Medic would be very. There's so many jokes you could do with like the doc. I feel like there's so many like drug things you could do, because that's basically what Medic is in a lot of Gmod animations. He's either super silly, he's a mad scientist, or he's a drug dealer. There's definitely a lot you could do. Sniper. No? Sniper. Yeah, this one's also lost media, and this is another one of those weird ones where I feel like, I looked it up, and I do remember the recovery. It was the rope arrow thing. I didn't remember anything else. And so I had to look up the wiki, and yeah, it was the rope arrow. I mean, it would be very easy to turn in, I guess, like, the sniper rifle isn't an actual move, like a special move. It's probably just in his kit by default. And instead he gets like the huntsman, which, I think that makes sense. The huntsman as like a neutral B, and then putting like the sniper shot into like strong smash attacks. That makes sense. Yeah. The recovery is a little weird, obviously. Like I said, rope arrow, it's not something from the games. The Girardi is cool. I mean, the Girardi makes sense. You have to put the Girardi in the moveset. It's also very easy to get rid of, from what I remembered. I was looking up at the stuff on the wiki. It's like, you have to charge it, which that makes sense. That's like something from the game as well, but then you have to use the down beam. I think it's like a 30-second charge. Like, that's crazy for something that can be like deflected. Just got rid of. Unfortunate. I mean, it's okay, I guess. I'm not crazy about it. Is he I feel like he's kind of I don't know what it is about this moveset, like, for sniper. It feels like it's missing something for me. I mean, a long time ago, I feel like sniper didn't have as much to work with in general. Unfortunately, that was kind of the case. He wasn't active in many of the machinima videos. I don't think he was even voiced for a few of them. He had like no lines at all. So that was also very unfortunate. Now though, I feel like there's so much you could do with sniper. Like, a long time ago, I did actually want to, like, whenever I was working on the wall, I made a whole moveset for him. Like, I wrote it down and everything. And I was pretty proud of it. A lot of people seem to like it as well, but obviously I can't animate. I don't have I'm a very busy guy now. I can't really. I'm okay with making tier list videos and like talking about it, but animating takes a lot of like work. I'm a big perfectionist, so I couldn't do it. But you know what? I think like if you wanted to do sniper now, like it would be really cool. I think he would be really sick if you made him into like base a lot of stuff from the gameplay and like machinima stuff. But I think the strength is in the Gmod jokes. Like, Karate Sniper is begging to be turned into a full character. I am so surprised no one has done that yet. Like, Karate Sniper was used in so many TF2 shorts at the time. And even still today, I think he's used a little bit. Not nearly as much, obviously. But, like, there's an idea there. So I hope someday someone does pick up this character for me. Please! I would love that! Alright, the last one. I think this is probably like one of the best ones. Obviously, I think we all know Engineer. If any of these characters was turned into a Smash character, I think Engie would have the best transition. Because he has like everything you could want. And, it would be so easy for him to be super broken if you made him at the time. But he's weirdly balanced as well. Like, I was surprised. There's no upgrading the sentries. You just put it down. The healing from the dispenser is very generous. But it's not overpowered. It's like 2% as long as you're near it. It makes sense. And then his teleport is like perfect. I mean, he has teleport. It's perfect. So I'm also going to put him on so good. He will definitely be very high whenever I do sort them afterwards. And I mean, it makes sense that he's so good. He has a whole Rivals of Aether moveset. Obviously, if that doesn't say anything, I don't know what does. Now, I feel like making him now, you could still do it, but I weirdly feel like the ARL moveset is kind of perfect as is. I think the only thing you would change is to update the side B, which deletes projectiles, to be like the energy ball like it is. Like, that's kind of like a thing that's how it used to work, but it's been patched to be the more Mega Man-esque thing in TF2 of today. But I think if you want to do a more Gmod-centric engineer, you definitely could do that. I think there's still a lot of material to work with. Like, you're ugly. And then, like, modern engineer and, like, TF2 joke videos is, like, he's very goofy. Like there's people still do like a lot of like insane stuff. And like Tiny Disc Engineer, the Psychotic Engineer that you see in a lot of videos. And then like this is the funny casual like bacon guy who just like he's just making bacon all the time. He's very cute. I could see someone do that. All right, the last 4. These are weird. Again, like I had never seen any of these videos whenever I was growing up. So these 4 characters were complete enigmas to me. I did see Wonka a little bit after I joined the Law community, obviously. I did see a little bit of that. Other than that, I didn't look at anyone else. So I guess we'll get into them. You know, I thought this was Charles Barkley. That shows how much I know about basketball. When I was like making the script for this video, I literally called him Barkley. I'm like, wait, that's not Barkley. Uh-oh, I better change that. And he's okay. I mean, it's Michael Jordan. He does the things from the movie. The neutral B is simple. He does the dribble. I do like the side B. He sends Taz out, and it's kind of he's a get off me move, and then he can follow it up with like the dribble ball move. And it makes sense. That's perfect, actually. That's good synergy there. The recovery is a little whack, I will say. And I will also say that the ball physics in this whole video are insane. Like the ball goes freaking everywhere. Like I thought the ball and like Wii Fit Trainer's ball and Ultimate Smash 4 was a little whack. Ooh, the ball goes everywhere in this video. It's very funny. And the down B is also very funny. Like he's like timeout. And it gives you like a status effect. It reminds me of LeBron James in Multiverses, which I do like that character a lot. I think he's also very funny. He has a lot of good jokes. Yeah, I'll put him in funny. He's not crazy for me. I just think he's funny. Like the ball physics are a little whack. The Moveset, he sure is a basketball player. He would probably go higher though. He probably would go like super high. I don't think he's bad. I don't think he's bad at all. Wonka's like a really good moveset. I remember like looking back, like if you were to make a whole moveset, a whole roster of TF2 characters, what character would you add next to that list that isn't a TF2 character? And Wonka just feels right. I can't describe it. Maybe it's the hat. Maybe it's just like having a roster of people with hats. Just fits. You know, I mean, he works. He has like a couple funny normals. The moveset is pretty good. It has like the fizzy lifting drinks. The Oompa Loompa summon. The Oompa Loompas are very funny looking and how they animate. They kind of waddle around like penguins. I love them so much. Also, he has a healing move, but it has a very unique property to it that I don't think I've ever seen anyone else do. And like, it's like the ultimate gobstopper, and then how it works is like you take it and it constantly lowers your health down by like 1%. Like it recovers your health by 1%. I mean, and basically it'll keep healing you until like I think you recover full health, or your percent spikes back up over the percent you used it at. So if you used it at 50% and you recovered like 20 health, and Soldier like shot 2 rockets at you and you went up to like 70%, it would stop working. And, you know, I feel like it's in some ways it's a little broken. Depending on what law he would be in, I think it would be broken. But in this law where there's a lot of explosive damage, people can do 20% really fast. Having a character that can just kind of do that feels weirdly balanced. You know, it makes sense. I like it a lot, actually. And yeah, you know, I think I'll actually put him in so good. I think he's really well done. It's a very unique mechanic. And if I Smash, obviously, it's perfect. It's very, very good. It's very good. Now we have Inspector Gadget, you know? This is another moveset that I wish I saw sooner, actually. Like, I really like this move. Inspector Gadget is so funny. I love this character. I don't know anything about Inspector Gadget, actually. Like, I know, like, the brown bricks meme that kind of spread around. But, like, that's it. I don't know anything else about him at all. So I saw this moveset for the first time. in a neutral V. The neutral V is like a random move. It's like a random it's a random go gadget. And a lot of the moves feel like they're intended to actually be used like in certain situations, like an actual thing you need them right now, but you don't know if you're gonna get them. And it's also laggy because he has to say go gadget. So how are you supposed to use this? It's so funny. And then he also has like a very unique and specific gadget where if he's in the air, he'll have to activate go gadget umbrella, but it only works for 2 seconds, and then he falls again. Like, imagine like using that in the middle of like falling, and you have to pray you get it. Like, you would not do that. You would do like any other move instead of like rolling the dice a billion times and hoping you get the umbrella to slow your descent for 2 seconds. And then he has like the side V, which buffs your movement, but if you turn around, you'll slip and fall. And then it has a 10% chance to backfire. Why? Why? He goes like, whoa, and he falls down. And then, oh my god, Move the Glow is the funniest fucking move I think I've ever seen any Smash Bros. Law character do. Like, what is that? It's just the fact he looks at you and is like, move the glow, do it now. He's so funny. It's so fun. I love this character. And the anti-trap move he has, you take away a trap and it costs percent. It takes even more percent than Nick Cage's, which was like, I think he just takes 2%. Whereas like for him, it's like a set percent depending on what it is. He can take up to like, I think 14% for just getting rid of an object. And then the final smash is just like him getting another message, say, hey, go to fight it, go keep fighting them. And this message will self-destruct. He's like, okay, I'll keep doing that. And then he throws it and it explodes. And this is such a funny final smash. It's literally just like a guy checking out and say, hey, keep doing what you're doing, Inspector Gadget. Bye. This will explode. Oh my god. He is so funny. I'm tempted to either put him in funny or best. I was actually debating on putting him in best tier. I may do that in the next video, but I kind of want to. He is so bad, but everything he does makes me laugh. Like, he's so entertaining. I will say, all of his normals are actually really good. He has the cool spinny thing. They're very well animated. I like them a lot. Like, so he's not, I don't think he's bad. Maybe he is bad. He's so funny though. I love this character. Maybe I will put him in best tier. We'll see. I'll have to think about it. And the last character, Adventure of Sonic the Hedgehog Sonic. Is that the name of it? I see like the AOSTH. I'm assuming that's what it means. I don't know. I never watched the show. You know, I was expecting this moveset to be like, you know, he's Sonic, he does the thing, he spins around. Maybe he has like a couple other stuff, but that's it. But you know, it's actually, it's not bad. He has the pipe move where he shoots chili, and it actually has some unique properties. Or actually, you can't change the direction, but you have to be like elevated or use it in the air to spray farther. And that's cool. That's actually a really unique gimmick. I feel like if you use that on the ledge, it would be really interesting, actually. It would actually be a really good move. And then the side B, he has like he can dash 3 times. That makes sense. That's pretty good. Something Sonic related have to be in there, so I guess it works. The tornado recovery is giant and it deals 20%. Oops. That's kind of crazy. But I mean, like, a lot of characters in this law actually do like 20% damage, so that feels broken. Especially for a recovery, but I feel like in this law it makes sense. Like that's not, it's crazy, but it's not unusual. And then he has the weird umbrella move, which is directly saved to basically just like it recovers from above, but he can basically use it whenever, unlike Gadget where it's like random. And, you know, I think if there was, like, Dittos, I think this would actually be a really funny Ditto character. Because he can just put the umbrella up and, like, protect himself from his own, like, the Chili's faucet thing. So that's like an interesting interaction. I kind of like that, actually. So yeah. Where would I put this guy? I think he's neat. Like, I don't think he's crazy. Like, I mean, obviously, I don't know anything about the show. That's the problem, you know? Like, I can't really say, oh, why doesn't he have this mechanic? Why doesn't he have this move? Why doesn't he have that move? I mean, like, I look at him, I think, oh, the chili. I know, like, Sonic likes chili dogs. He does a dash. He has a funny umbrella. That might be weird. And then he has a tornado. I mean, Sonic, I imagine that's a very toony thing for a toony Sonic to do, so it fits. So I think it makes sense. Someone can tell me in the comments if, like, you know, he should go higher. Like, I'm not very educated, obviously, on the Sonic. And that's everybody, I think. This is a very fun wall to talk about, remembering this song, because obviously it's gone now. So we only have, like, so many scraps remaining. I really like this law a lot. It doesn't, I feel like, it's kind of all the laws that exist right now, because it is just so much, it's like the law that everyone knows for just having every single TF2 character. So I feel like this is the law that people kind of pick and choose from. They kind of grab characters from it, and they want to just, like, make them themselves. Which is sad, but I mean, like, the TF2 characters have obviously evolved so much since then. And the 4 characters that were original are, like, Willy Wonka, this guy, Michael Jordan, Inspector Gadget, and Adventure Sonic the Hedgehog. Those are, like, 4 very unique sources that I feel like, you know, I could still see someone make a moveset of them, which is sad. This is a very unlucky law. I wonder if, like, if it had kept going, we would have seen, like, you know, more unique ideas. I don't know. I would have definitely, like, liked to see more. But it's definitely not bad at all. I don't think it's very bad at all. Like, there's no especially bad character here at all. I think for the time, all of these movesets definitely, like, kind of made sense. I think the only one that's kind of questionable now for me is, like, Sniper. But that's, like, because Sniper is Sniper. It's a very weird moveset to kind of adapt. And it just has, like, a lot of weird mechanics. I think they just kind of came up because you want to try and balance the Sniper character. Because Sniper's always had a bad balancing problem in TF2 itself. But yeah. I think that's it for now. I'll definitely... The next one's... Oh god, the next one. We talk about the next big Lawl. After Chin. It was Lawl Nova. There are so many characters here. Oh my god. It's been around for so many years. I'm not ready for it, but I want to do it. I want to do it justice because obviously I'm friends with Scap, and I don't want to be mean, but I also want to be fair. I do like a lot of the characters here, and I feel like this Law has a very unique history to discuss. Also, CDI Impo. We'll get there. I'm very excited to talk about CDI Impo. Alright. Well, I think that's it for now. The music's dying down, so I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.